Let me ask you all a question. What brings you joy? I'm going to let you shout out a response to that, and I'll repeat them back in the mic, as demonstrated. But I will report them back so everyone can hear, so please keep them short so dancing. I can say them. I've got dancing, I've got bicycling, my dog singing, sunsets, my dog, children, sunsets, what have I said? Grandchildren, birds, flowers. All right. Lovely. Sunrises, clouds. Your fig tree, all right. I like your fig tree too. Yes, gardening. Beautiful. Naps. Right on, right on. Poetry. Oh my goodness, we could just, this could be the rest of the service. Just keep naming them. So I love that. I think we all know what brings us joy. Or perhaps we could say what makes us happy. But actually, we need to dig a little deeper into what joy is, because it's not as simple as the things that make us happy in the moment. Joy is deeper than that. It's the ability to affirm the goodness of life, even in the midst of sorrow. And so when we garden or watch the sunset or play with our grandchildren, whatever it is, those things help us remember the joy even in the midst of whatever is going on in our lives. It's not predicated on external conditions, right? But rather on an internal orientation, if you will, a way of relating to the world. Joy doesn't just occur when we're happy. It can bubble up in the midst of sorrow. Think, for example, of the mix of emotions at memorial services and celebrations of life. The first memorial service I ever attended was for my grandmother. I was 19 at the time. And that day, it was impossible to remember her without remembering the funny and loving things she did. I had to work hard to suppress giggles in the funeral parlor that day. They just wanted to come up amidst the tears and the missing her. She was just so funny. And afterwards, I remember my stomach hurting because I was laughing so hard as my siblings and I shared stories about her. So it was a mix. That's what can happen when we gather for a celebration of life of a loved one. Even as we are facing the fact of death, the fact of that we won't have that person in our life anymore, and reflecting on our own mortality, we often find joy just in being together with people who also loved our person. With hearts made tender by grief, joy and sorrow intertwine like the sides of the same coin. As Khalil Gibran writes, when you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Yet it's easy to forget about joy and the importance of it in the busyness of our lives, or the bad news, or illness, or death, all of those things that we're facing. It's easy to forget about joy in the current political system, political climate and social climate that's frankly hostile to the UU values we share. When so many people are being oppressed, being hurt, and whose very existence is being threatened by the dreadful, malicious executive orders that are being forced on us. In fact, it might feel like we don't deserve joy in this moment, like we can't express joy when we feel it right now, that it's somehow not honoring all of the horrors. And we may actually sometimes judge people who express their joy in these times. But I want to say that times like these are exactly when we need to feel joy and express it. We are worthy of pleasure and play. Moreover, we are wired. Just as human beings, we are wired to bond with each other and create community through joyful expression. Psychologists tell us that it's possible to cultivate joy or increase our capacity to experience it by practicing presence, by being open to the world as it is. In the present, we can focus on being grateful for what we have. We can be vulnerable with other people, and we can engage in acts of kindness and and standing up for others that enrich the lives of everyone. How many of you attended a hands-off gathering last weekend? I know some of you did. That's great. I couldn't attend hands-off, but on Sunday I did attend a Fighting Fascism gathering in Sebastopol. That day, about 150 people were brought together by outrage at the damage being done right now. Yet there was so much joy and positive energy in that room. The program provided opportunities to meet people, to dream together, and to sing. We needed that joy to contain our sorrow and rage. And we found that in the experience of being part of something bigger, recognizing that we were not alone. As AIDS activist Dan Savage said, anyone who tells you that making time for joy, however you define it, is a distraction or a betrayal has no idea what they're talking about. During the darkest days of the AIDS crisis, we buried our friends in the morning, we protested in the afternoon, and we danced all night. The dance kept us in the fight because it was the dance we were fighting for. Friends, we need the joy of community to remind us what we are fighting for. We need the joy that comes from being part of something bigger, of knowing we are not alone, of knowing others care about us and we care about them. The joy that says, hold on to your sorrow. It can rest safely here. Now, these days, some of us may feel a bit untethered at times and disconnected. We may be out of the pandemic, but that separation we felt then still lingers for many of us at times. I was out walking with my husband last night, and there were a lot of people on the street. And it reminded us of the early days of the pandemic when getting out and walking was the one time that we could see other people. And it was quite a reminder of that time. We may also be feeling a bit guarded, given all that we've been through. Cole Arthur Riley says that joy is inherently communal. And I'm not talking about being in or out of a group, right? I'm talking about knowing that we are not alone and that we are cared for. And she says, when we find joy, and while we find joy alone, as I often do in nature, we have an impulse to want to share that joy, don't we? She tells a story about this beautiful little secret place that she finds, this little reservoir that just lights her up, that makes her feel so at peace. And what does she do? She calls it her secret place. And she invites everybody she knows to visit it, right? So that they can experience the magic too. And I so get that. So, I go off track. But that sharing of what brings us joy, and the sharing of all of our lives makes us vulnerable, right? There's a vulnerability there. So today, I want to invite you to join me in a ritual that I hope will foster deeper connection to one another and provide more fertile ground for community and communal joy. Around the world, for thousands of years, members of our human family have found a way to say, you are not alone. Others have journeyed through the place where you find yourself, and we journey with you now. There are many ways for us to give one another strength, courage, and love. The slip of paper in your order of service is how we'll do that today. This is an exercise of care and trust and vulnerability, to name on paper a struggle in your life and the hope that lives inside of you as you struggle. I ask you not to write your name on your paper. This is truly anonymous, but know that your hope will be shared with others. We may even have time to read some of them in service. It will be read by someone other than you. And that actually is an encouragement to write neatly. And use the back of the paper if you wish. But I hope you'll be brave enough to answer those two questions. In my life right now, I'm struggling with. In that struggle, one thing I hope for is. And I would ask you actually to add a third thing, because at the end of this, you're going to take someone else's card home. So I would love for you to write a joy or a blessing or a something, a hope for the person who is going to be thinking of you this week. I'll give you a couple of minutes to write your responses, and then we'll pass a basket around to collect them. Pens. We have pens. Can someone take the pens around? Thank you. Thanks. What was the third thing? Thank you. A hope or a joy or a blessing for the person who will take your card home, for someone else. Anne, would you get me a card, please? All right. Do you need another moment? You can write on the back if you want, but no, not required. We have a couple of people still writing. All right, let's wrap it up, hopefully. There's mine. Okay. We're not going to read all of these, but I do want to read just a few of the hopes, and I'm going to choose some at random here to read so that you can all hear the hopes. There's a hope to feel joy again. A hope for peace of mind for my relatives. A hope for energy to invite people to do things with me. A hope that people will come together to protest, stand up, speak out about injustice, and support and care for each other. All right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the basket around again. And I'm going to ask you to take one card that you will take home. And you'll take home and keep in a prominent place. In this congregation and community, we make one another brave. We give one another peace. We hold the hope for one another and make room together for joy. As partners in hope, we offer each other a kindness As partners in hope, we offer each other the kindness that enriches each other's lives. And as I pass these around, you'll be holding someone else's words. You don't know who wrote them, and this struggle and hope could belong to the person next to you, someone you most admire in this congregation, maybe somebody who annoys you the most. I don't know. Those words might have been written by any of us. And I ask you to take these words in and offer up loving kindness to the unknown person who made themselves vulnerable. And I apologize to those on Zoom that I didn't offer you this opportunity as well. And if you wish to write something in the chat, you are welcome to, or you could send me a private message, and I will respond and hold your struggle and your hope for you. And Anne, will you pass these around? Thank you. So, and again, if I invite you to take this home, put it in a prominent place in your house, and reflect on it periodically. Hold the person's struggle and their hope, and take in whatever blessing or joy or gift they left for you. If you are not interested in doing that this week, that's okay. If not, just don't take a card. And I will take the rest, and I will hold them for you this week. And I look forward to the practice. They are coming around. Do we need a second basket to make it quicker? If you get your own, please put it back. That's perfect. Just go ahead and mix them up and, yeah, put them back. There you go. There you go. Even in a small congregation, things take time, and I love that. I really love that. So I ask you to just take a second to read what's on your card and take it in. And I ask you to repeat after me if you're willing. I hold the hope for you. I hold the hope for you. Let's say it again. I hold the hope for you. All right. So please, again, just keep them this week, and keep that someone, that unknown person, in your heart. Let us move forward, our lives and hearts interconnected in life-giving ways, grateful for this community of vulnerability, truth, hope, and joy. May you feel your roots going down into the fertile soil that is this congregation, nurturing your heart and helping you find the resilience you need to put love into action in all the ways you can. And may joy be a part of your days now and always. Amen.